Funny thing happened on the way to the brick today. Rebirth is in, and you see I'm kind of holding it precariously. I don't know if you guys have noticed in the past, brick boxes came with these little plastic things in the bottom, and much to my surprise, they weren't there. I just wanted to save everybody the audio of the crinkling plastic. But Rebirth is in, thanks to our friends over at Wizkids, Wizkids Games. They've provided us with a whole brick of the stuff. You don't need to move. I need to move in. You're perfectly framed. I don't know where I stand in this. We're trying a new setup, new audio, new camera, new technology, but we also have backups and more backups.
On our backups,
so,
just in case.
So hopefully this turns out how we expected. But yeah, we're going to rip through a case of Brick of Rebirth. A Brick of Rebirth. We're going to go through a Brick of Rebirth, and we're going to do our usual thing where we build sealed teams for your pre-releases, because pre-releases are around the corner, and what better way to experience that than to try it out yourselves. So we're going to give this the hot try. So today we're going to do our unboxing and our sealed, our faux sealed, as it were. And then tomorrow, of course, we're going to do our piece-by-piece review of the set. So we're looking forward to this. I guess without further ado, it's time to get this show on the road. Eh, Amber?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get these things off of the, out of our faces, whatever. And we're going to start with this one. This one was, this is the scary one.
Yeah, we'll see how that went.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to give this share that kind of information, but look, we're good. We're good. All right. So, first pack of Rebirth, I did it. We got an Aqualad, a Kid Flash, Deathstroke, a Batman, uncommon Batman, and the rare is Superwoman. So the commons are Aqualad, Kid Flash, and Deathstroke. Common Deathstroke. Uncommon is Batman, who's got a purple lining to his cape, and Superwoman is our rare. So pretty cool looking stuff. Let's get that under there and stop Jason from talking, and go from there. All right, Amber, what you got? Besides?
I have Artemis, an Adeline Kane, Billy Batson, Superboy, and another Deathstroke.
A different Deathstroke. No, same Deathstroke. They're both common.
Yes.
Cool.
My rare would be Superboy.
Superboy does look pretty cool.
And this is the Super Sons Superboy. Super
Sons. Oh, like the Damian Wayne and
Clark and Lois's son.
Gotcha. That's kind of cool. All right. It looks like there's a little bit of beef in both of our first packs. As far as, there's a Deathstroke and there's a, pretty solid super rare. I mean, there's a rare with the word super in its name. All right. And speaking of super rares, we got our first one of the pack of the brick, and that's Mr. Oz. We've also got in our common slot Prez Rickard, Wonder Woman, Superman. I said that weird. Uncommon Power Girl, and like I said, the Mr. Oz. So Seal Pies is looking pretty good for me. I'm not going to complain about that at all. What do you got there, Amber, for your second pack?
I've got, let's see. So I have Power Girl that is in a blue jacket, and the one you pulled is in a black jacket.
Yep.
I got the Devastator.
Oh, Chase. He's a big dude.
He is. Ravager. And, oh no, someone's broken.
Oh no.
Deimos. And Cyclone is not on her Tornado, unfortunately.
Oh, it looks fixable.
So, definitely looks fixable.
Mm.
Alright, so let's see if I can kind of put Cyclone in a position where you can see her.
You know what? Dynamic sculpting. It's a dangerous thing.
They're beautiful when they work, but sometimes it makes them just a little bit
rough.
A little rough there. Mm. So, well, that's going to be interesting for my sale. How do I do that every time? Every time we go to be like, let's try out doing sealed for Amber. Here's a super rare. Here's a chase. Have fun practicing for sealed.
Here's a realistic attempt at learning how to do sealed, Amber. This is definitely something that's going to happen 100% of the time, all of the time. All right. So my next sealed pull. So those first two packs will be my sealed pool for that. My second sealed pool, what looks like our rare, is the Flash. I like that kind of cool I don't know if he's stopping or if he's getting ready to go pose. We got Adeline Kane in the commons, Nightwing in the commons, Power Girl, and Mr. Terrific both uncommons. So, pretty cool stuff going on there.
I got something in a bag.
Who's
big thing in a bag.
You always get the cool stuff.
Big thing in a bag. Okay, so I got
Clayface.
Steel, Rose Wilson, Tara. I don't know these costumes. And Kid Flash, and inside the bag is a big thing.
It's Clayface. Big
yes.
brown plastic thing.
It's a Clayface. It's a super rare Clayface. I don't know if
cool.
there's any other Clayface in here, but this
Fair
one's
enough.
rare.
You can never tell when it comes to that kind of stuff, right?
Right? Alright, let's get you guys a look at these guys.
Alright.
Use guys, I look at these guys.
Alright, my fourth pack and my second sealed final pull. A lot of qualifiers on that. Oh, I probably should have started opening it. Ooh, I'm excited for this figure. So we got Shazam.
Ooh, dang.
We got Shazam. This one, in conjunction with the Billy Baston, was built with Howard Brock and his fellow Team World Champions in mind. So the Team World Champions went together and built Billy Baston, and Howard Brock himself put together Shazam, which is pretty cool. We also have Duke Thomas in the common slot, Rose Wilson in the common, and then Jericho and Colonel Poison in the uncommon slot. Oh man, that's such a cool looking... I love, like, it's just a little newspaper that says Howard Brock wins
nice.
World Championship. So, that was
That's a nice
gnarly.
touch there. I got Beast Boy. He's so cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Flash in... Okay, so I am not very familiar with the Rebirth ones, but we've got a set of these costumes of black and white for the Teen Titans. Do you know what that's about?
Nope.
Nope. Alright. And then we have the Flash, who's purple. And it's a woman. And then Jericho in an alternate costume. And then we have the Nightwing. So... Cool.
What is the significant appearance on that? Deathstroke. I wonder if Deathstroke had his own Titans and that's what this is.
Maybe.
I mean,
Sorry,
if you look at
guys,
who's in
we're
black
not-
and white...
We could talk your ear off about Marvel comics. When it comes to the DC comics, we're not as up to date with those.
Not as up to date, but we can tread water, as it were. All right. So the pack that we're going to be working together on a sealed pool on. The first one we got here. All right. So we got in the rare slot Batman. This is the Justice League China Batman.
Okay.
Demios in the commons. Cyborg in the common. An uncommon Deathstroke with a cape.
And he's got the black
same
and white
outfit.
costume.
And Commander Steel is a common as well. So that's some gnarly dudes there to work with for our shared sealed pool.
Batman looks like he's holding a box of popcorn. Like, I know that's not what it is, but it totally looks like he's holding a box of popcorn.
He's my popcorn.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so got another super rare. This is Flex Metallo, and he's got a word bubble.
Dude! Bro!
Wonder Woman, a Superman, a Cyborg, and Veronica Cale.
Dude, that guy's swole. Oh, you know what? It's clearly modeled after me. Look at that body and look at that body hair.
I know. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. And it just, like, the wave behind him says Hero of the Beach. That's amazing. That's so good.
That's the guy who would eventually, you know, in those ads to get buff, get swole, and he'd be like the after photo.
Yeah.
In the comic after the guy got his girlfriend got sand kicked in their face, right? Am I right on that?
That's how those go.
Well, apparently he's part of the Doom Patrol. The insult that made me a man.
Yep.
I might not be off. My famous hero halo. I flexed hard enough to turn the Pentagon into a circle. This guy's power names are the best.
Amazing. Yay, flavor text.
His charge, invade the basement of the Pentagon. Summon the Flex Force is his sidestep. His telekinesis is Man of Muscle Mystery. His impervious is manipulate the secret vibrational wavelength of each muscle and tendon. and his close combat expert is the power to cloud men's minds with my biceps. Kudos on that one, Wizkids.
Yes.
That's a win and a half. Oh man! All right, so we're gonna get these together. We're gonna do our sealed pools, see how we feel about all of that, and kind of roll from there. So see you on the flip side of all of that for sure.
All right, so my first pack was pretty academic when it comes down to it, to be honest. So this was a first booster. I took Superboy, Billy Batson from it. Second booster, we're looking at Power Girl and, well, Devastator. I pulled Devastator. I'm playing Devastator. Surprise, surprise. So actually looking at the characters, this Superboy is just fantastic. Like, there's no downside to this character. He's 75 points. He has a 14 movement charge, 11 attack, 18 defense, invincible, with Indomitable, 4 damage, 6 range, Superman team ability, Teen Titans team ability. He's got 3 traits. Superboy can use the team abilities of friendly characters within 4 squares unless they are uncopyable. When Superboy is given a move action after resolutions, he can use the Teen Titans ability at no cost. And then when a friendly character named Robin hits after resolutions, modify Superboy's speed and attack +1 this turn. The character's just fantastic. And it's, like, amazing that he's only 75 points. Like, I'm so in love with this character. He's only a rare. Then, of course, we're looking at Devastator. This is a chase, so... there's a lot of words. It does a lot of things. He does have, he modifies a lot of his defense and stuff based on who's attacking him, where he's attacking from, and then he has Doomsday tokens that he puts on people and gets better, and then once per turn when the Devastator targets and hits a single opposing character with a close attack, after resolutions deal each other character that is adjacent to either the Devastator or the target 1 penetrating damage, includes friendly characters and usually the target. I do like that wording is in there. And then we come down to his dial. For the purposes of this team, I'm only playing him at 150, but it's one of those, oh, only 150, right? Like, look at that dial. It's ridiculous. But I do have some points to fill up, so I went with Power Girl and Billy Batson, mostly just to add some extra perplex on the team. Like, I need it. But let's beef up that Superboy and Devastator. Why not? Alright, so my second set of boosters, we had, for this one, I'm actually pulling out the 2 flashes. And then for this one, well, I'm taking out Clayface. I almost had enough figures to do a Defiance theme, but it would have brought me down too low. And now that we've actually had a look at the cards, it looks like these black and white costumes are from a Defiance team headed by it's Deathstroke's Teen Titans, basically. So looking at the actual characters here, we've got the Clayface, Kid Flash, Defiance Kid Flash, and this Flash is from the Justice League of China. And speaking of which, looking at her card here, she has Ministry of Self-Reliance. The Flash has Protected, Perplex, and Probability Control, but both only from characters without the Justice League of China keyword. So it won't come into effect too much on this team, but like if you were to build a team where like that's going to protect you from friendly prob and perplex as well, unless they share that keyword, which here, neither really here or there on this team. Borrow some of your momentum. When the Flash moves at least 1 square and hits 1 or more adjacent characters, after resolutions, give a hit character a stolen speed token. Characters with stolen speed tokens modify speed and attack -1. The Flash modifies speed and attack +1 for each stolen speed token on opposing characters. When an opposing character is given a move action after resolutions, remove all stolen speed tokens from them. So that's actually pretty cool. They're easy enough to get those tokens off, but if those tokens are still there and they're in a situation where they can't just give themselves a move action, where they need to be doing some other things, that's going to stick around in that. So we've got playing her at 100 points here to get that opening prob, because prob in sealed is important. It's unfortunate that she only has defend on the defense and not any kind of, she doesn't get super senses until later in the dial, but the defense actually not too bad. And then I'm going to look at the other Flash. We've got Kid Flash, Defiance Flash. Remember, we're the good guys. When Kid Flash hits one or more opposing characters with an attack, but none are KO'd, after resolutions, roll a d6, 3 to 6, heal Kid Flash 1 click. Speed Force, when Kid Flash moves at least 1 square and hits one or more adjacent characters after resolutions, give him a speed token. Modify speed +1 for each of his speed tokens. We've seen this sort of Speed Force trait before. And then he has an attack power, free tornado rides for everyone. You can fly. And then free, choose one, Force Blast, Smoke Cloud, or Telekinesis. Until your next turn, Kid Flash can use the chosen power and may remove a speed token to activate it as free instead. Not too shabby. He's got a decent little dial, shape change up front, and then we do have Prob and Perplex, so that could affect the other Flash later on in the game, but it's still good just to have those powers around. I'm not too concerned about the fact that he won't be able to prob or perplex her. And then, of course, we have Clayface, who has a movement power that is Flurry plus Sissity Sidestep. When Clayface uses Flurry, choose that either the character first or that, oh my gosh. Choose that either the first or second attack will deal them penetrating damage. After resolutions, give a character hit by the other attack an action token, which is actually pretty cool. And it doesn't really specify that you have to choose 2 different characters. You're just choosing 2 different effects. And then his attack power is Poison Knockback. When Clayface hits with a close attack after resolutions, you may place him adjacent to a hit target, which is actually pretty cool because you can knock somebody back and then have Clayface go after them and reposition him. And then Defend Invulnerability is his defense ability. And then, of course, on the damage there we have Shape Change, and then Free until your next turn, Close Combat Expert, Giant Symbol, and Clayface can't use Stealth, but he doesn't get that till the very end of his dial. So we are looking at 100 points for him with that Poison, 18 defense invulnerability, and Shape Change with his Flurry ability up front, which is just great. I love this Clayface. It's awesome. Happy with this team. It would be something I would actually play in a tournament, well, sealed tournament at least.
All right. So my packs, just a quick run through. First pack: Aqualad, Kid Flash, Deathstroke, Superwoman. Well, that's most of my team. I can't say no to Deathstroke. It's just an impossibility on me. Now, I want to point out while we were doing our build phase, and I'm going to explain actually in a minute. My next pack actually had my support because Prez Rickard, definitely on my team. Wonder Woman, Mr. Oz, who also made the team, and Superman and Power Girl. Now, this was the hardest sealed pool I ever had to pull from because all the figures were really good, and coming up with the right combination of things that I was comfortable with was really what it came down to. So my main force is, of course, Deathstroke and Superwoman. Superwoman, even though she lacks a lot in the way of like willpower, etc., she's got a lot of longevity when you think about the manipulate any forms of energy portion, the fact that she's got steal energy at range, and that she and anybody adjacent to her is protected energy, explosion, and pulse wave, which gnarly. All right. Next we have Deathstroke, he's just good. I mean, he's just good, but he's also a wild card.
which means he can copy the Superman team ability, which adds... Okay, well, he's already got ignores hindering, but now he ignores hindering for line of fire as well, thus breaking stealth and being able to use that charge and running shot that he has on those first 3 clicks. Plus, when he KOs somebody, he can heal, so you can first shot with Superwoman, finish off with Deathstroke for some really good combinations. And to get them there, Prez Rickard is really just extra leadership. That's really what he comes down to. Cool figure, but that extra leadership is a super potent power and can go a long way, especially when he succeeds on a 4-5-6, and he can remove an action token from any number of opposing, or one action token each from any number of opposing characters. For each one removed from an action token from a friendly character within 6 squares. So I can take tokens off of my opponent and then all of a sudden make my dudes take extra action tokens off. So that could actually add to the lack of willpower on Superman. There's just some flexibility in this, and I'm going to run them. And then there's Mr. Oz, who runs at 40 points. Now, that means that he's only got these 2 clicks, but those 2 clicks are 2 clicks of telekinesis. That also, if any opposing characters have telekinesis, I can move whoever's been moved 2 squares. And then there's manipulate from another dimension, probability control with a range of 12, and he basically ignores the map when you consider the fact that he's also got Superman Superman ally team ability. He's also got the Hyper Time team ability, which is just super weird. But in general, Mr. Oz, it kind of wraps up the team. Gives me a lot of beef and a lot of support for that beef. So I'm not going to argue with that. And then next up, the next 2 packs, it was a little easier to build with because it spoke to my heart. So the first pack had Duke Thomas, Rose Wilson, Jericho, Colonel Poison, and Shazam. Guess who's on my team? I love me some Shazam. I'm looking forward to the movie. And I like Howard, despite the fact that he got angry at my dice more so than I did. To kind of add to it, I added Flash to my team as well. Flash is 70. I'm playing Shazam at 200 points. Most people wouldn't, and I probably shouldn't, but I will. Because this would be like my pre-release sealed, and that's okay. And I'd also run the Adelaide and Kane. The rest of my packs, of course, were Power Girl, Nightwing, Mr. Terrific. Again, if I wasn't, I didn't have my eyes drawn to Shazam, let me tell you, this would probably be a team that was different. But Shazam drew my attention, and the fact that he could protect himself for the game from Outwit, Opposing Probability Control, Pulse Wave, Mind Control. So whichever one he chose, I'm ignoring. Plus there's this extra neat thing where you increase his defense by +1 if he doesn't do anything, which, there'll be turns where he doesn't do anything. The Flash is cool because it'll add some Perplex onto my team and some late out prob that it will really matter. But he's got this really cool movement power. Flurry, phasing, sidestep, and when he uses phasing, teleport, and moves 5 squares or less, after resolutions, he may give him a close action at no cost. And that, of course, includes Flurry as part of one of those close actions, which, it's extra attacks. It's a very unassuming dude who comes out of nowhere. And Adelaide Cade is really there for, I don't know what she's filling 30 points, to be brutally honest. She also has this cool thing, which is really good in sealed, I guess, where you can take opposing characters and disallow them to use their special traits. There's a lot of dudes with special traits. So, if they got 2 of those Teen Titans, you can choose 2 of them. With the same trait or special power printed on their card, and choose 2 standard powers. Those opposing characters can't use the chosen standard power. So you can cut off their use of standard powers that they might be getting from those, or any sort of extra stuff. And she's got enhancement. I mean, there's a little bit of range on Shazam. He's got 3 range. It might come in handy. It might not. Who knows? All right. So then we had to work together. This was a little bit harder because, we had our first pack. Amber, if you want to show that off for everybody. It's got Flex Metallo, Wonder Woman, Superman, Cyborg, and Veronica Cale. I'm not going to say no to a guy who's just as hairy as I am. So he had to be on the team. The next pack consisted of Demios, Cyborg, Deathstroke, the Justice League China Batman, and Commander Steel. So as you saw, we had two cyborgs, and we almost went with both cyborgs. We did go with at least one of them. But we also went a little bit more tentpole-y on this one. Amber, you want to grab that last figure?
Yep.
We went with the 150-point version of the Superman Justice League, Superman from Justice League of China.
Superman.
One of the reasons is that every turn he's allowed to choose a stat, and he gets +2 to that stat because we're paying 150 points for him. He's also protected from opposing Perplex and Probability Control. Also our own Perplex and Prob, but I don't think those really came into effect on any of these dudes. Cyborg has range combat, sorry, I'm looking at the cards here. Flexman, dude, this guy's so cool. He's so cool. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you very much down in Chile for this guy. While I flex hard enough to turn the Pentagon into a circle is very cool, it's not going to be as in effect as, say, TK, which, gets this dude or this dude into action. And then he's a close combat beefer with traded super strength. And then once per turn, when an opposing character of higher points hits Flex Metallo, roll d6. After resolution, roll d6. Heal Flex Metallo equal to half the result.
That's amazing.
We've all dealt with that in the past with Deadpools. It's deal with it.
Yeah.
It's so good. This guy is way better than he deserves to be, and I love it. All right. So we talked about Superman. He's just good. And then the Cyborg with a Sonic Arm Cannon with knockback Psychic Blast. If he's single target. That was kind of the consensus we came up with this.
All right. So that was our Rebirth unboxing and sealed builds. This is a definite this is a choosy
interesting set
for
too.
sealed.
Other than my first sets of figures, which obviously had the Devastator and the Superboy, and that seemed really easy for me to just throw together. My second set of boosters, I was looking at them there was 5 or 6 different teams I could have made out of that, and I'm not even really all that solid on the team that, the 2 Flashes and the Clayface are definitely a team I would play, but also I keep looking at the rest of those boosters and be like, I feel like there could have been something else out of that. And there probably is, because the choices in this set seem to be, they're definitely there. That you definitely get a good, solid amount. There wasn't really any one figure where I'm like, yeah, I would never use this.
Yeah, honestly, when I put together my sealed teams, I said, this is an option. And usually in the past, other videos we've done like this, it's been a matter of, this is the team you use. Mm-hmm. And there's very, very few other options in this. This set, sealed play is so flexible that I don't see a lot of situations where you only had one team that came out of a set of packs. They're not super low. They're not super high in points. They're kind of in that middle ground. There is the option in a lot of a lot of packs of running the high end tent poles, where at the same time you could be running a lot of dudes who do a lot of different things. This is a really good set, sealed wise and just in general. There's a lot of fun stuff to be played, which we get to talk about in tomorrow's episode.
Yeah.
So. On that note, once again, thank you, Wizkids, for providing us with this wonderful brick of DC Rebirth. We look forward to getting this stuff on the table and playing some games with it. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. If you guys have your own opinions or ideas on how you would run your sealed packs, please put them in the comments below. We'd like to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
Have a good one, guys.